Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name's Christine and you may have seen in my last video what it looked like just a couple of days ago with this beautiful snowfall. I know some of you have never seen the snow before and this was just so fluffy that I thought I would include it again. And this is what it looks like today. It's gorgeous and sunny. Maisie and a few of her friends are just enjoying the warm weather, and it's a perfect day to decorate. So if you're new to my channel, thank you so much for joining me. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Today I'll be decorating my formal dining room, so let's get started. If you're new to my channel, we recently moved and I've been using this formal dining room to unpack and store my pictures and frames and photos that I'm definitely going to hang on to, and I'll use them in different areas of the house when I get around to decorating each of the rooms one by one. And then as I was unpacking slowly but surely, I took all of our clothes and other items that we want to donate and put them in boxes and put them here in the dining room. But today, Big Brothers, Big Sisters is coming to pick all of them up. So I finally get to move them out on the front porch so they can come and get them. I'll clean the floors really well and we'll get ready to decorate. The ideas that I have for this room, I want to decorate with some cool, calming tones and colors. So I'm using a lot of blues and grays and whites. And if you've been here before, you'll recognize a lot of my thrift store pieces and the furniture flips that I've been working on. And it's so fun that everything I've been working on the past few months, I finally get to pull all together and use to decorate this room. I'll talk a little bit about pricing, hopefully give you some ideas and some inspiration along the way. This rug that I'm using is one that I had at the old house, and I specifically hung on to it because it's such a great size. It's a 12 by 18 feet, and I always have a hard time finding a good sized rug that's really thick and heavy for a great price. So if you guys have any suggestions, I would love to hear them. But it fits perfectly in the space, and I took a few of the furniture pieces and I laid them on the rug. You can see here that the colors do play off of each other really well, so I'll be using this for now. But I am still on the hunt for a large, thick rug at a great price. So again, if you guys have any suggestions or recommendations, please comment below. I would love to check them out. I started out with these dining room chairs, and you may have seen my video. I purchased these off of Facebook Marketplace, and they were in pretty rough condition, but I painted them white with chalk paint, and then I found this beautiful fabric with these gorgeous colors, and I reupholstered each one of them. There was 8 chairs in total, and I think I paid $70 or $80 for all of them. I splurged on the fabric. It was quite expensive, but that's okay. You got to splurge every now and then. And I'm so glad I did because I absolutely love how they turned out. I love that baby blue crushed velvet along with that pattern on the back. The colors just complement each other and they look so beautiful in the space. Next, I'll bring in the dining room table that I also found on Facebook Marketplace, and I paid $250 for it. And I'm so in love with this. It's just under 10 feet long, which is the whole reason I purchased this to begin with, because of the size. It had all these dents and dings already, and then I distressed it a little bit more because I just love a dining room table that has that weathered and worn look. And I love this slate gray color, and it fits perfectly in this space as well. Next, I'll bring in this hutch before I bring in the rest of the chairs. That will allow me a little bit more space to decorate the inside. It fits perfectly on this side wall. And if you saw the before of this, before I flipped and painted it, this is what it looked like before. And this is what it looks like now. I added these feet on the bottom to give it a little bit more height and personality, and I absolutely love how this turned out. I get to decorate the inside with all my thrift store finds, and I purposely painted the inside this dark charcoal gray so that I could use all of my white ceramic pieces, and the contrast of that dark gray will just allow them to really pop and show through the glass really well. I'm adding a little bit of greenery here from Michael's. It's just to add texture and color. Obviously, I can't add a live plant inside of here, which I love live plants, but there wouldn't be enough sunlight. So I'll add a little greenery here, and then I add a few flowers on the other side just for some balance, and again, a little bit of softness and texture. All of these thrift store finds I purchased for probably about $3 to $5 each. So not very expensive, but you have to be kind of patient. I didn't purchase all of them in one shopping trip. It took several weeks of just really finding what appealed to my eye. I know we all have different tastes and style, so just find some items that you're in love with and get started. These 3 tall, thin vases you may recognize. I originally put them in my butler's pantry, but they look so perfect against that dark gray that I decided to put them in here instead. And I forgot to mention the price of the hutch. I think I purchased for $40 or $50, and then the cost of the paint. And then I did add the feet on the bottom, and I can link the description below if anyone is interested. But altogether, I think that was $20 for the hardware and the feet. So not very expensive for this beautiful piece and all of these decorative pieces. And I absolutely am so happy with it. I'm adding these little faux flowers from Michael's, again, just for a little softness and texture. And I just love how simple and elegant this looks. Next, I'll be hanging some decorations on the walls on either side of the hutch, starting with these 2 horses that I am absolutely obsessed with. I found these at the thrift store, and this mom and baby horse that I just love so much. And then this believe sign that I recently upcycled. You may recognize that. My kids still make fun of me, but I absolutely love it. And then this little antique clock. Again, these are all items that appeal to me, and I absolutely am so in love with and think they look perfect. I may whitewash those horses down the road. I'm just going to hang them there for a while and just really pay attention if I want to do that. But for now, this is perfect for me. I love, if you've ever watched Fixer Upper, and that Joanna always says that you should include items that have sentiment and meaning. And moving on to this next corner is definitely that for me. We inherited this piano from my grandma and grandpa a few years ago when they passed away, and I normally would not put a piano in the formal dining room. However, when we moved in, we weren't sure where to put it, and so the movers left it here. And since then, we've had friends and family over for meals and game night, and someone always hops on the piano and starts a fun sing-along. So having this in the dining room actually makes sense for us. There's plenty of space for it, so I left it here. And then these two paintings were done by my two cute little relatives, so they have meaning as well. I'm still looking for a wood frame for this one, but I'll hang it up until I do. And then these candle holders were my mom's before she passed away, so they're important. And then this antique scale was given to me by my other grandma. So all of these items have so much meaning I put in this corner, and I absolutely love them. I tried this white vase with some flowers and I didn't like that. So I recently found this clear vase at the thrift store for $5.99, and I added these faux flowers from Michael's. Ultimately, I'll put some fresh cut flowers from our yard, but until the weather turns nice enough, I'll use these faux flowers just to add a little bit of softness. And then this little wooden family sign that I found at the dollar store. And then a couple of planters with some live plants, which you know that I love. They just add so many benefits. And I made sure to pick two plants that thrived from indirect sunlight, because this will be on the side of the window. And I just love this little section. It just has so much meaning to me and looks so adorable. Moving on to this front window section, you may recognize this buffet that I recently flipped. Here's what it looked like before. And then the after, I paid $50 for it. And then the cost of paint and the cost of some new knobs. I painted it a couple different colors to match the dining room table, and it fits perfectly under this window. And then let's add some more live plants. I just mentioned they're my favorite. They have so many benefits. They release oxygen and remove toxins. And you may recognize these planters from my recent thrift flip video. This one I need to fix just a little bit. It was the original plastic container that the plant came in, and I painted it to mimic the faux vessels at Pottery Barn, but it still has these little cutouts on the bottom. So I just grabbed a little burlap ribbon and my hot glue gun to cover that up. And then last of all, I wanted to add these planters with some new plants, and I knew it was missing something, so I purchased this little tray recently from the thrift store. I like to decorate in threes, so I put 3 planters out, and one of them I still need to find a new plant from the store this week. And then you might be able to see on the side of the camera, I added these little 3 ceramic elephants that have so much meaning. My kids gave them to me a few years ago, and this little space brings just so much life to the room, and I love it. And then I just hung these 2 prints on the wall. One of them I got from the thrift store, and the other one I purchased online to match, and you may have seen this on my thrift flip video as well. So let's bring in the rest of the dining room chairs, and I got one last splurge that I'll bring in just a minute. But before then, I brought in a couple last items to decorate the space. This large planter with a plant that we're trying to revive fits perfectly in this corner. And I forgot to mention that I had already hung this large mirror in the room when we originally moved in, because I knew I wanted it here. But to the right of the mirror is this blank wall, and I'm still undecided on what to hang there. Maybe you guys can give me some ideas, but I have a couple of different frames that I'm definitely looking for some prints that I'm in love with to do a DIY project. Or I've got this tapestry with the Eiffel Tower on it. All of the colors definitely match the room really well. I just need to put a new mat around it. And or last of all, I've got this print with some horses on it that I really don't think matches this room, but again, I'm still on the hunt for something to hang on this wall. And then I also need a large tall plant to fit in this wicker basket underneath this Believe sign to fill in that space just a little bit. And then I was searching high and low for some chairs to fit at the end of the dining room table, and I just wasn't having any success. So I did splurge a little, and I found these two beautiful high back chairs. They're not necessarily for a dining room, they're actually for your living room, but they were in this creamy white color, and the fabric is so beautiful, and they fit perfectly underneath my table. So I purchased them, and I think they just bookend this table so beautifully and bring everything together. And then to finish off the space, I need to do a centerpiece. I knew I needed something very full and large to compete with the size of the table. So I started out with this wood tray that I purchased. And then this marble piece that I absolutely think is my favorite of all my thrift purchases. And then this vase was a really good size, so I painted it to match the decor. And once again, I plan to use some fresh cut flowers from our yard, but until the weather gets nice, I went out and purchased a bunch of greenery from Michael's. I got all of these large eucalyptus leaves to just hang over the sides of the planter. And then I got these flowers that match so nicely. The color fits in perfectly. And I paid $7.99 for each of these stems and each of these leaves, but they were 40% off. So altogether, it was a really good price. Again, we all have different tastes, but I hope I've given you some ideas and some inspiration today. I have so many more rooms to decorate, so I hope you'll join me in the future. Let's take one final look at the entire room together. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your day with me today. I so appreciate it. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe, please do so. I'd love to have you come back and join me for some future projects. Give me a big old thumbs up. It sure does help my channel. And I hope the rest of your day is absolutely wonderful.